Hello and welcome to the morning show, teeing off with RevSportz. Very good morning to all of you present, and it's great to be back after almost 2 weeks. I was having my exam, so good morning, Rahul, and Shisha will also be joining.
Good
Uh,
morning.
yeah, and yes, I do have two more exams left, but some things happening in the social media are quite disturbing, and I thought it would be important to discuss about it. Tisha will also be joining. She's sports certified sports psychologist, also she can give a different perspective. Shubman Gill, one receiving much hate for performing good against a certain. I won't call them fans after what they are doing on social media. And another one in Spain, La Liga, where Rahul, I think you have seen that match, Vinicius Junior facing racial abuse, getting monkey chance. So these things are not what we want to see in the sporting world. Say no to racism. We always hear we say these hashtags. And Vinicius Junior, what he is facing at age 22 is not something that we want to see on a regular basis. And Rahul, what's your thoughts on that? Takes Vinicius Junior facing racial abuse, Shubman Gill here in India facing so much hate for performing well against the team. Your thoughts on both these matters? How unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a very unsporting behavior from the fans, and the fans who are doing this kind of things, I think they don't deserve to support the any. They don't deserve to watch any sports or support any club. First, I will come to Shubman Gill. Even they were abusing his daughter as well. And
Mm.
a few days ago, we have also seen how KL Rahul has been trolled in the social media. It's really affect the sports person, because just after a few days again we will have to support Shubman Gill, because nowadays IPL is going and all the fan base is divided into so many teams. So they were, whenever their team is losing because of Shubman Gill's century or knock, so they started abusing Shubman Gill. But after just few days, the WTC final will come and we'll have to support them all. So I think those fans don't deserve to support them at that time. And really in La Liga as well, against Valencia, they were doing monkey chants, showing Vinicius there. It's really against the sports. It's and also affect their moral as well.
Exactly. And Tisha is here. Good
Hello.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we were discussing something that's really disturbing going on in social media, and I really thought it would be good to get all of your perspectives. One, Shubman Gill, we were discussing facing so much social media abuse, and another one in La Liga, Vinicius Junior. He got monkey chance in a match against Real Madrid versus Valencia. Monkey chants, hanged dolls. There were dolls all over the streets of Valencia with Vinicius Junior's jerseys, and much abuse. Monkey chants, showing bad gestures and everything. And that man is 22 years old. And just talk to me about how we always, whenever such things happen, we say no to racism. Hashtags keep on trending on social media, but again, it happens back. Your thoughts on this?
Well, I think as we were discussing yesterday, I think I was discussing with Rajaraman sir that see, the problem is, Rohan, fans nowadays have reached a different level. I mean, I don't know if it would be right to call them fans, because
Yeah.
I am a Virat Kohli fan, and most importantly, I am an RCB fan. So yes, I was heartbroken, but I was not heartbroken because Shubman Gill scored a century. I mean, that is just stupid, to be honest, and not because he's an Indian. Uh, Nobody realized that how much the IPL has actually, you know, how big it has become. Think of this. Last
Mm.
Sunday, he had 4 centuries. We had 2 matches and 4 centuries, and all four of them, in their own way, were classic.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli scoring back-to-back centuries um, both must-win games. Like all
Yeah.
the last 3 games that RCB played were all must-win games, and in two of them he scored a century, and that too in 60 odd balls. And when people like Shubman Gill, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Virat Kohli scores a century, it reassures you that T20 cricket is not about going boom, boom, bang, bang alone.
Mm.
It is also about playing proper cricketing strokes. And Virat Kohli,
Exactly.
especially, continuously runs so well. So all these small things, and then you see Shubman Gill bat with that ease. I don't know how can you get angry seeing someone bat with that ease. Oh God, he looks backed. I mean,
And he's
he's
so
doing
graceful, and
yeah.
the way he bats makes cricket looks easy, which is not.
Exactly. I mean, these players make cricket make batting look so ridiculously easy, you know. And as far as football and racism is concerned, it's not only about football. The problem is we have become individual fans more than the
Mm.
sport fans. Suddenly a Virat Kohli is more important than cricket, Indian cricket team. I think I had written this Virat Kohli and Rohit. A lot of people say Virat and Rohit fans fight. If you are a real
Mm.
fan, there's nothing to fight. They are playing for your country. I mean,
Exactly.
honestly, tell me, how does it matter if RCB won? Say I'm a RCB fan. Say RCB won. हो क्या जाता? They were going to pay anything to me? No, right? It's as simple as that. If India wins the World Cup, that matters. Because that gives a boost to the sport. The market increases as sports broadcasters. It becomes better for us. And as far as football is concerned, I think uh, football crowd isn't it is a little more rowdy than cricket crowd always. That's there.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
I
go
would
on.
say, but I would say again, the thing is, say with Ronaldo Messi, for example,
Mm.
I don't think I have seen a lot of. I mean, I myself am not a Portugal supporter, but I support Ronaldo. There has to be a maturity when you're supporting an individual that
Mm.
you don't need to criticize, Messi all the time. Yes, maybe a fun banter is fine. In the same way, for racism to stop, people have to first understand the implications. The problem is, it basically starts from the fact, oh, he's black. What will I call him? I'll call him black.
Mm.
It's for fun. Why are you so serious? I think everybody, I mean, even fans should be given uh, probably education on what is racism and where a line should be drawn. Because at the end
Exactly.
of the day, sports or no sports, you have to be human, right?
Exactly. And this was not just stuck to calling him a monkey or something like that, but dolls who were made to wear Vinicius jersey, and they were hanged in the roads of Valencia, and that's pathetic. And it was not the first time
Where
that
did it
racism.
get so much hatred from? Is my question. I mean,
Exactly. And that man is 22, and he has been doing fantastic for the last few years.
say
And
he didn't.
uh,
How does it matter? People are bound to fail. It's okay.
But
These
if
people,
it
huh?
but if it happens in India, then also it's okay. Because but in European football, before every match, they spread messages like stand against
mm,
racism, no racism. They
Exactly.
spread so many things, but still it happens in European football. Then nothing to say.
and
It happens
if you
more in
remember that
European
match,
football,
Rahul,
actually, Rahul.
uh,
It happens
yeah,
more in
exactly.
European football. How many times have you heard Indian audiences, getting on and
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, in India we haven't seen such racial abuses, but we have seen some rowdy crowd breaking benches. But that's a different thing. But
Mhm.
racial abuse, if you remember, Rahul, that match when Danny Alves were thrown a banana by the
Yeah, yeah.
away fans, and he tackled it very well. He just picked up the banana, tore it,
And he
ate it, and in the post match presentation, he when he was asked about that incident, he told that I appreciate the away fans for giving me that banana that gave me the energy to give more to assists.
absolutely, he's a cool guy.
but
So
see, Rohan, the thing is, not everyone can handle it well.
uh,
And B, just because somebody can handle it well doesn't make it right or wrong. I mean,
exactly.
it is wrong and it will stay. My only thing is, I know it will sound a little philosophical. I just feel, can you believe how much hatred and frustration has increased? That
Exactly.
they're taking it out on players. Can have you
Exactly.
ever heard Sachin Tendulkar fans abusing Rahul Dravid? Have
No.
you ever heard Saurav Ganguly fans abusing VVS Lakshman?
No.
Never.
the daily level has increased, and that's portraying on the field of play, and that's
Absolutely.
really pathetic. And I really hope these matters are get resolved. And coming to the IPL, Trisha and Rahul, the first qualifiers CSK GT at Chipok, uh, and this season the CSK fans have not only been restricted to the Chipok Stadium, but wherever they went, they turned the stadiums yellow. And so, Trisha, I'll come to you, but Rahul, you first. What are your expectations from the match? Do you think the Chipok crowd will be the 12th man for GT, for CSK? Sorry.
Yeah, they can be their 12th man, but it's not going to be easy for the Chennai, because you know the kind of form the Gujarat Titans has been since the last year. Because where they finished last year, they have started exactly from that. You know, this year as well, the most consistent team you will see in the last 2 years. And if you see both the teams, they have a similar kind of nature. They back players whenever they need, because they make unnecessary changes in their team. And you will see other teams like KKR, Punjab, they have failed to get the right combination even in the last match of the season. But they hardly make any changes. Even you see Chennai, you know, they every year you see Rahane, then Shane Watson, then Robin Uthappa. They give them this kind of player who are almost in the career end. They give them a separate kind of platform to flourish themselves. And coming to the match, yeah, obviously, you know, it's their day for Chennai. It will be a full house supporting for them. But another thing is that if the pitch assists Chennai, then if a spinning track, then it's going to be turning into a boomerang for Chennai, because you know Gujarat has Noor and Rashid Khan, and also they have another spinner Joyant Yadav. If they need it, they can bring him as an impact substitute. So it's going to be difficult for them, because for Chennai, you know, Moin Ali and Jadeja, they are not so threatening so far. Yeah, they are just bowling tidy, but so it's going to be tough for Chennai, you know. And also, whoever lost, they have another chance in the next qualifier. So, and whoever will win, he will directly qualify to the final and will sit and enjoy the other match.
Exactly. And Rahul is quite passionate about the game. What I feel, and he has done his homework very well. And Tisha, yes, coming to you. For CSK, Tushar Deshpande, Shivam Dubey, they have been good, and Pathirana, that with that uh, delivery, and he has been really fantastic throughout the. I have not seen the last few matches from my exams, but the previous matches, and he has really made quite an impact. So, your thoughts on Chennai GT today?
Well, I think I completely agree with Rahul. It won't be that easy for Chennai at the Chipok today, because Gujarat has a well balanced bowling attack. I think it's safe to say it's the best bowling attack in IPL 2023 for sure. Because, you know, every time Shami comes in the power play, he looks like a different bowler. The only bowler who has come anywhere close to looking as dangerous as Shami has been Mohammad Siraj, again in the power play overs. And I think what has been brilliant, the way, Hardik and Dhoni, we all know that, Hardik considers Dhoni as his big brother, and he has followed him in that footstep. Because I think Hardik is a brilliant captain. I think we do not mention this often, because Gujarat has names like Rashid performing, Shubman performing. Maybe Hardik hasn't performed that well with the bat, and has barely bowled. So somewhere we forget to mention Hardik, the captain. The way he has used every single bowler, every single, be it his spinners. And initially, Gujarat was a pace dependent team with only Rashid Khan to go for 4 overs. Now, as Rahul said, Noor Ahmed is doing very well. And if you think of it, Jayant Yadav can be used today, because CSK lineup has left-handers, and Jayant has
Mhm.
done that role for Mumbai Indians. Uh, he used to come in the team every single match that the opponent had a lot of left-handers, and CSK, starting from Conde, who's a brilliant player of spin. The last match, what we did see was Ruturaj has also made up for the whole. He was getting continuously dismissed by spin. But remember, away spin is a threat for Ruturaj. ball that turns away from him. And who turns the ball away from him? There's Rashid Khan, there's Noor Rahman, and,
Yeah.
and also there's an, even if you see the pace lineup of GT, maybe because
Hmm.
I'm a bowler, I'm a little more biased towards that, but it is so beautifully done. There's a left arm pacer in Yash Dayal who has made a superior level comeback, I would say, after the whole Riku Singh onslaught. Mohammad Shami, the more you talk about him, the less it would be. And Hardik has also used himself as a bowler only
Hmm.
when he has seen that there is
I think he
something.
hasn't bowled in the last 3 or 4 matches. I think so. Why is
Yes,
he
he
not
has
bowling?
only bowled. I think he's managing his own workload
Acha.
that way.
Yeah, he also has
Hmm.
some back problem. Last matches. I think
Hmm.
that's.
Not and not only because of that, he has been troubled by this back for quite a long time.
And
So I
the
think
others are
he
performing, so it's
And
quite.
Josh
exactly.
Little
And
is also back from national duty.
exactly,
Josh Little.
Josh Little is
Hmm.
back. So I think it's a very very strong lineup. The only place where the only chink in GT's armor would be a little bit of their middle order, which
Hmm.
has been good only in patches. But we all know that Riddhiman has been good. Uh,
Hmm.
Again, swinging ball would trouble Riddhiman, but still, he can give you a brisk start. Those edges flying here and there, if you
Hmm.
bowl short to him, he's not going to let you go. The other, I mean, what do you talk about the other opening partner? Shubman Gill has been just on song. I would wish and hope that GT goes for Sai Sudarshan as their number three, because I don't know why
Hmm.
they have dropped him, not used it. I'm sure there is some sort of logic in that, but I would, because every time Sai Sudarshan has been in the team, he has performed. So get in Sai Sudarshan. And when I'm saying this, CSK will be a very tough team to beat or play against.
Hmm.
Especially, think of this.
If their
It
opening
will
batter
be
click, then only.
completely yellow. It will be completely yellow.
Yeah, yeah.
There
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
would not find anything other than that GT dugout in the GT colors.
Exactly.
So it is generally tough when the 12th the 12th man is completely the
I think
opponent.
this will be 13th man because we have 12th man in the impact player this year.
True. Um, and I agree with Rahul when he says that, if you look at CSK's bowling lineup, Tushar
Hmm.
Deshpande has picked up a lot of wickets, but do not forget his economy rate is way too high. He has been hit in all around, and apart from Thiksana, the two Sri Lankans basically,
Yeah.
Patirana and Thiksana, are
Yeah.
the biggest concerns. And in batting, I would say the biggest concerns would actually be Ruturaj, Devon Conway, and Shivam Dubey. Because by the time it comes to, because we have seen that Dhoni keeps himself for the 18th to 20th over slot. By the time it comes to that, maybe the match will be decided.
I think Gujarat can also try Shanaka. Last match also they tried him because he is used to playing these kind of pitches as well in Sri Lanka. I think they can try. So three
And
Sri
he
Lanka.
will know a lot more about Tiksana and Patirana both.
Hmm. So
He can
that
bowl
will be
also.
interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
so
always
the
believe.
predictions you both are giving that Gujarat will be a bit ahead of CSK, but
Yeah, I can see Gujarat playing the final. Whether it's today or in qualifier two, I don't know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they will. They will.
I think it will
so
be Gujarat
that
And
Imai,
if,
to be
and
honest.
if the
that's
lose today, then also
that's
there's no problem because next qualifier they will play in front of the home fans.
mm,
They will give their fans something to cherish
That's
for, and
exactly
they will
my
play
point.
in the
mm,
final.
exactly
I would say 70% they might qualify today, and if they don't, then 100%
yeah,
they will qualify in Ahmedabad. There's nobody stopping them.
fantastic. And that's some franchise back to back finals if they can make it in the opening 2 years. That's fantastic. And before we end the show, 7 players today travels to England for the WTC final.
Oh,
Yeah, for the
I thought
WTC
seven players
final.
means you're asking key seven players of the match. I said, what kind of
No, no, no.
question is supposed to be?
7 players are traveling to England for the WTC final. Virat Kohli, Ravichandran Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur, Siraj, Umesh Yadav. They are all traveling, and Siraj and Shami.
Basically, the teams that are out of IPL, you know.
So this one uh, point that I am really happy that RCB has been eliminated is that Virat Kohli travels
A
soon,
little earlier.
and he gives the time to rest, because the gap between this long tournament and the WTC final is not that much, and I think that's going to affect. So, Rahul, what's your thoughts on the final? I think England will be ahead. Australia will be ahead in English conditions. What do you think?
Yeah, first of all, I will come to means the players are now going around. I think 12 or 13 days before. It's a really a good sign. But I think
Hmm.
they should have organized one practice game. Against any team there that would have helped them getting used to that conditions and playing against them. And Pujara is already there. He's a kind of disciplined guy. Like fast bencher, does his homework before the game very well. Yeah, I think Australia, I think because the way they have played, I think in the last Ashes, so obviously, they will gain the advantage. But at the same time, India are not going to let it go easily, because last time, I think again New Zealand also, you have seen New Zealand have also got the advantage. They have lay ball, the Neil Wagner, but still India didn't let it go easily against them. They played really well. The last second innings, I think somehow New Zealand had the upper hand, and that's why they won the game. So it's really going to be an you know tough battle between both the teams. India, Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, both are in good form. It's a good sign for us, because against Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy also, you have seen that our most of the time our top order have collapsed. So going forward, it's a good sign. Then Pujara doing, I think he has played well in the county. That's also a good sign. Then the main thing to watch will be how Ishan Kishan play. Now, whether Ishan Kishan or KS Bharat who plays, but obviously I will go for Ishan Kishan, because Nathan Leon will be there. So if he can do some Rishabh Pant like of things, let's see. And how this team has already gone to England, so they should take 1 or 2 day break, and now they should start the preparation, because it's a really important game. Last time we have lost, but it's really time to bring back the glory.
Fantastic. And Sisha, coming to you, Rahul almost covered all the points. So anything more you have to add?
You know, everyone talks about how we lost the WTC final, but and Rahul rightly pointed out that it is in the second innings that we lost. And you know what was the saddest part, Rohan? In the second innings, it was not like we got out in unplayable deliveries. We actually got, for example, Ajinkya Rahane was playing a fantastic innings. He saw that
Hmm.
the fielder was moved to mid wicket, and he just played the same shot and he got out to that player. It's about application. It's just one game where you have to apply 400% of yourself. The preparation, the practice matches are extremely, extremely important. I agree. But at the end of the day, I mean, and in fact, no one better than you, Rohan, would understand this, that every preparation at the end of the day only counts if you can execute. If you can't execute,
Hmm.
somebody, which batter, I can't remember. Do you remember this? Rahul got out down the leg side. Was it Virat? Got out
I
down the
think
leg side in the
so. It
second
was
inning.
it was 2 years ago. Hard to remember.
But anyway, I mean, he got up down the leg side. So all these things, you want proper cricket, and while playing
Hmm.
proper cricketing, shots. If a ball is swinging, you are getting out in it. That's understandable. But by you're getting out down the leg side, seeing the fielder coming in, you expect better from your experienced batters. Good thing about Shubman Gill, and I think Rahul and I was discussing this yesterday only. Honestly, because of IPL, we have 4 or 5 players who are in form. We are not discussing Ajinkya Rahane enough, but do not forget the way Ajinkya Rahane has expressed himself. He'll be oozing with
Hmm.
confidence. Pujara, Pujara has been on song in the county matches, so he will be high on confidence. He will be practiced. Uh, he will be well practiced. He'll have the match practice. People can play around him. He can. He has that temperament. And I would also love to see, as Rahul said, Ishan Kishan. And I don't mind if Ishan Kishan gets out on zero. I genuinely don't mind,
Yeah.
because he has to play. I mean, he has to disrupt the Australian plan, much like Rishabh did. Rishabh's success in test matches was and will always be that he used to disrupt the opposition's plan. कुछ
Hmm.
और ही खेल है. James Anderson, I was lucky enough to watch it. And I was shocked, when you're watching that, and suddenly like he steps down, he plays the ball straight over James Anderson's head. The next ball, he just bends and plays a sweep to James Anderson. That is the kind of innings that probably Ishan needs to play. Again, it'll be too much pressure on him to expect executing what Rishabh does.
Hmm.
But as I said, and I also think Ravindra Jadeja would be a very good um, option. I don't know if Ashwin will
Who will
be.
be our third seamer, after Shiraj and Shami? That's the big question. But no
It's
one is
England.
talking about.
It's England. It should be Shardul. It's England. It should be Shardul. Because Umesh Yadav is not going to give you swing.
But
You
they
have
can
Ishan,
to.
try
do you think
for
if
the last.
Pradeep is
They
present,
can
he would have
try.
got the chance? Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
Sorry?
sorry, Rahul.
India can try Ishan Sharma, for one last dance. The way he has been
And
so smart
but
while
he's
bowling
not
in
there.
this
No,
IPL.
he has not been named only. How will Ishan
Yeah.
go? But no, I agree with you, Rahul. If they chose Ajinkya Rahane on the basis of
Hmm.
experience, then they could have given Ishant another go, because Ishant would have generated a lot of bounce because of his height.
And at the same time, the way he has bowled in this IPL, no one expected that he could do so well. Bowling knuckle ball, exactly what time the ball is needed, that kind of bowling, no one expected from him at this
But
age.
I have
He's
one point.
limited
I know Rohan is
experience.
trying to end the show, but just one
And
point
all of
here.
that.
The
Right,
thing
right.
is, I feel one more reason behind not selecting Ishant could well be the fact that in IPL matches, if you have a look at, if you go back to the IPL matches, he has bowled his 4 overs and has immediately got subbed because of the
Uh,
impact sub rule. He has not fielded. All he
Uh,
did in a match was
yeah,
just bowl
that's
four
true.
overs. A test match is 5 days long. I mean,
Yeah,
nowadays it doesn't go to 5 days, but 4 days for sure.
fitness issue. Yeah,
So absolutely, and
Nowadays, it doesn't go to
you can't
five
have
days.
him replaced. No, there's no impact sub in WTC final. Also,
Exactly.
adding Shardul does two things. No, you have a batter at number
another
89,
betting option.
and Shardul swings the ball. In England,
Yeah.
it is very important. In England, bowlers like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Shardul Thakur, I think are assets. I think the three seamers should definitely be Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Shardul Thakur.
So, Trisha, do you think if Unadkat was present, was fit enough to play, he would have got the chance in English conditions?
But Indians are not ready to play him, no?
Hmm.
Last test series also, we didn't see him play. There was enough chances for him to play. So
Exactly.
maybe again, I don't know if he's not fit enough or what is the. See, it's very easy for me to sit at home and say that, oh, Unadkat should have played, but I'm sure something was not working. And most importantly, Rohan, all of us don't get to see the nets.
Ah.
Practice. Let me tell you a small this thing. The day that RCB on Sunday, RCB played their this match against GT. Actually, the day before that, Virat was having a scratchy session at the nets. He wasn't
Hmm.
timing the ball well. He wasn't playing it well, and he got out to both Shabaz Ahmed and Karan Sharma. Uh, but Virat extended the session and kept batting till he started hitting the ball so well that he was hitting it to the stands.
Hmm.
So net sessions tell you a lot. You and I don't get to watch the net sessions. So maybe there was
Exactly.
something in the net sessions. That's why they didn't take Jaydev Unadkat. Also, Jaydev doesn't add to the batting. And why am I
Hmm.
continuously repeating Shardul is somewhere you need a deep batting lineup, because remember Australia also has a longish tail. So, yeah, I think the problem with India in the when I said tail, it reminded me something. The problem with India in the WTC final back then was we couldn't get the last batters out.
Hmm.
We have to be more clinical when it comes to the last few batters.
Okay. And before we end the show, one important decision has been made by AIFF to appoint a psychologist for the national team who has been working with ATP tours and with golfers and also in IPL franchises. And I think that's a very important, though it has come late, but a very important step going forward, because it's important to have the mentalities, the mental health of the players fit for the tournaments. And Tisha, you are a certified sports psychologist, so uh, talk just a few words before we end the show. How important is this move? And the senior men's team has got it, but the women's team and the junior teams should also have psychologists in every stage. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think every professional who is in a competitive space should have a
Mm.
psychologist, and sports persons definitely, because the ups and downs are happen so quickly. One day you are the hero,
Exactly.
the other day you are completely gone, done and dusted. So everything happens so quickly and happens in front of so many people. There's so much pressure. I think it is important that every single team, under 12, under 15, because honestly, Rohan, when you go to the international level, or when you have reached the highest level, your
You are
mental
mature
health
in
has
this.
been already damaged. You have
Uh,
learned how you want to cope up with trolls.
uh,
You don't. Yes, it affects you. It affected Virat Kohli. He spoke about it. But think of this: by the time Virat Kohli has reached here, he has crossed someone like Riyan Parag. Not a huge
mm.
fan of Riyan Parag not performing, but think of the amount of trolls that he faces. What's his age? How does he deal with
Exactly.
it? Today he needs a sports psychologist.
Yes, Dayal.
Yes, Dayal.
Yes, Dayal.
Yes, he
Yes,
fell
Dayal.
sick. He fell sick, for God's sake.
He lost 10
And this
kgs
will
after that
happen.
match.
Yeah. And this will happen. He will get it for 30 runs in 1 over. He will. Honestly, Rohan, the other day I was talking to my friend, and I was saying the way IPL is going on, nobody would want to be a bowler. Why would I
Exactly.
want to be a bowler? Because it's becoming next to impossible. How many times have 200 been scored and chased in this
And
IPL?
changed, yeah, exactly. And I don't think the other previous editions of IPL had this much of 200s being chased. This IPL was something different.
This
Every
IPL,
match,
Rashid Khan wasn't spared. This IPL, Rashid Khan got hit
exactly,
for sixes and fours at will. And he's
exactly,
one of the best bowlers in the world in any situation. So what I'm basically trying to say is Noor Ahmed needs a sports psychologist more than a Rashid Khan, because
Yeah.
Rashid Khan has now figured out how to handle the
Mhm.
disappointment.
exactly,
But the problem is we begin with the Rashid Khans, and then Noor
exactly,
Ahmed, by the time they come in, they have nothing to say, and then we are like, oh, sports
exactly,
psychologist. Yeah, I mean, you don't need them because players know how to cope up. It's when they don't know how to cope up, when it should be part of grooming. Sports psychology should be a part of grooming.
exactly. Well, on that note, thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Trisha, for joining. It has crossed 2 minutes of our scheduled time. So, for our viewers, do follow our social media handles. I think one article is already been published right now by Rahul.
No,
So,
no, I
kindly.
will, I will, I will. No, only.
Okay, okay. Okay, Rahul is on his duty. So, thank you for joining. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I won't be there. Tomorrow, Shubhan will be there. Tomorrow, I have an exam.
Tomorrow,
So,
none of
thank
us
you.
will be there. Tomorrow will be a new.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank